I actually just want to be by myself. Why can't I get this off like I did in my 20s and 30s? It ain't nothing like it's just punching you in your face and you're dealing with it, right? The energy level is something that needs to be studied. Come on, how long am I going to deal with this, right? Us women, we go through a lot. Perimenopause can feel like a mystery, but knowing what's normal can bring you peace. What's up, ladies? My name is Rosie, and I make content to build women over 40 confidence so that they can be comfortable in their own skin and live their best life. Let's do this. Why perimenopause can feel like you are losing control. Let's first start off with the moods. Child, 1 minute I am fine, and the next minute I am sad. I am, mad. Like, what is going on? It's just like all over the place. I just want to be by myself. Like, it runs the gamut. And you never can tell, right? You never can tell. I don't know. I just go with the flow. It is what it is. But the most times, I actually just want to be by myself. I don't really want to be bothered with people. That is just what it is for me. Next up is the weight. Oh God, if you've been on this channel, you already know about the weight. It is disrespectful. Okay, disrespectful. If you know my story, you know that, COVID, I gained like 20 pounds and I was already in my 40s, probably already in perimenopause, all of that. And it was just so hard to freaking get off. So hard to freaking get off. And, me not knowing about, what to do even made it even worse because it was new to me. Never having really a weight issue of not getting it off easily was just frustrating as hell to me. Like, why can't I get this off like I did in my 20s and 30s? Like, it was just frustrating. But I had to research it. I had to, figure out a new way because my body wasn't the same anymore. But the weight, I think we all can attest to that. It just threw us for a loop that, our metabolism, even though we may have known it, like I've talked to my doctor, even though I may have known that my metabolism is going to slow, it ain't nothing like it's just punching you in your face and you're dealing with it, right? So I can stay on the weight all day long, but let's move on. Sleep. I don't really think my sleep has been affected that much. Yes, sometimes I can go to sleep, but I'm not contributing that to perimenopause. Had a nap earlier and I'm not tired at nighttime, or, sometimes if you're on your phone before you go to sleep, which I'm trying to eliminate. But the jury is still out on that. I wouldn't say that that's perimenopause related for me, but I know that a lot of women deal with that, and night sweats and all that stuff. But for me, I think, child, I can go to sleep. Energy. My energy is depleted all of the freaking time. I'm tired. I am tired a lot. Whether I get a good night's sleep, I wake up refreshed, but then it's just like, 2 to 3 hours, or, I'm feeling sluggish a little. And Lord, if I put something in my belly, I'm tired. And I always thought that when you eat heavy, I used to get tired, but I could have me a salad and I'm tired. I'm like, ain't nothing in my stomach. Why am I feeling tired? The energy level is something that needs to be studied because it is crazy. But like for me, I don't know if it's a unique, I don't know if it's unique to me or not, But even with people with exercising, like they used to say, oh, when I exercise, I feel so energized. Like that never energized me. Like, first of all, I hate to do it, but I know it's something that I have to do for the rest of my life to be healthy and get my heart rate up and to stay in shape and healthy and strong. But I don't like it. But I never feel energized after. I never feel energized. Like, I'm tired. Like, I want to go to sleep. It does not bring me any energy. So it's just like with this, I don't know. I think I've always dealt with my energy being low. I feel like it's a bit more. If I sit down and really think about it, it is more during this part of my life. But yeah, I've always had low energy. These irregular cycles, I mean, just pick one. If you're going to freaking give me hot flashes, then leave me alone. Like, let the blood dry up. Let it be on its way. I don't like it. So unpredictable. Like, you always, I mean, being a woman, you always had pads anyway, right? You have them in your car, you have them in your purse, you have them every damn where. When you go on vacation, you take them just in case, because you never know when for mine, you never know when she was coming. But the irregular cycles is just crazy, because I could go, 3 or 4 months, nothing. Then all of a sudden, here she come, right? And it's like before, like it's heavy. It's heavy the first 2 days. And I'm like, where you been? Like, come on. I ain't mad that you've been gone, but like, come on. How long am I going to deal with this, right? Like I said, you give me all these other perimenopause stuff, like just leave me alone. I know I was talking to my sister about it, and she was like, you still get your period? Yeah. If you saw the other video that I did about my hot flashes coming like every 15 minutes, like I don't need all this stuff. Like I don't need all this stuff going on with me like this. Like give me one thing at a time, please. The bloating. I mean, it just seems like I live at being 3 months pregnant with the belly, okay? It's just ridiculous. The bloatness that happens. And I'm just like, oh, people just don't understand what we as women go through. It's unmatched. Now let's talk about some of the hidden symptoms, right? Memory fog. I knew where I was going, but somehow I'm going down the wrong street. I'm like, where are you going, girl? Where are you going? You are supposed to be over here. Like, you gotta write everything down, because if you don't, I'm like, I don't know, being irritated. I'm glad to finally know that it's, the hormones that is making me irritated with just everything. Tolerance level is at an all-time low. Low. Can I just be by myself for the rest of my life and not have any interactions with anybody? I think that would be my preference. Yeah. Because I get irritated so easily. And I just have to woosah. Body image issues. I've always been a confident person. I've always walked with my head held high. It's never been no low self-esteem here until my 40s. COVID, like I already said, COVID happened, and like the extra pounds. I was like, who is this? Like just looking at myself in the mirror with the extra weight around my stomach and my thighs. I used to be like, girl, what has happened here? What has happened here? Again, after researching and figuring out that it's not all my fault. I contributed. Like, I'm not, saying that I didn't with, eating and not knowing about the transition and what my body is going through. I just had to get a hold of it. But I just, I struggled with that until I figured it out, right? And I am so glad that I'm on the other side, because it wasn't me. Like, it was not me to, feel a certain type of way. I've always been confident in the way I dress, the way I carried myself. And to have that, feeling of, second guessing myself, like, what was that? So that season was not good for me, but hey, she back though, she back. And I love that for me. Now, some not so normal things, which would be the red flags, would be the extreme heavy bleeding. After researching, I hear that a lot of women have that. I have not had that. With my bleeding, it's just the same as normal. But I remember going on a trip with one of my friends, and she was like, her doctor couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. She was bleeding all the time, for weeks. And I'm just like, oh my God, us women, we go through a lot. I remember bleeding for long periods of time after I had my son. We all go through it if you have kids. It's just after you give birth, it's like you're bleeding forever, right? That was hard. But to have that, like I said, when you're going through perimenopause and, just the worst, because you just don't know what's going on with you. Another thing would be the depression. Some people really go through a deep, dark depression during perimenopause. And with that, even with the extreme bleeding, if you experience anything extreme, you definitely need to go see your doctor. We need to be going to see our doctor anyway, talking about all these symptoms that we are experiencing, because we are all unique. As I've been talking to various women about this, some people get this, some people get that, some people don't get this, some people get that. And, it's unique. So you definitely need to, make sure that you're talking to your doctor, talking to your mother, talking to any siblings that you have to kind of figure out what it has been their experience with it. Why women think that they are losing it when it's just the hormones. When I first started going through perimenopause, I really did think I was losing it. I talked to my doctor, yes, I did. But even, sometimes you just living, you talk to your doctor, but then you go on your day-to-day and you're not thinking about perimenopause. Like I said, with the memory fog, with the, hot flashes, with all of the hormones just going crazy, you do think that you are losing it. You're like, what is happening here? Because you have never experienced this part of life. You haven't experienced it. So you're like, what is going on with it? Am I tripping? This is crazy with the emotions, sad, happy. It's just too much. But we have to understand that it is our hormones. We are not crazy, right? Give yourself grace. This is a new chapter, and this too shall pass. Why so many women feel blindsided, like they was not prepared. I felt blindsided even though I talked to my doctor. I was not ready. I remember having an initial conversation with my mother. She was like, she couldn't really remember some of the things. I have an older sister, and she had the same experience with my mother. So she was just like, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm going to be there for my sisters, because she was the first one, right? She had to go through it. I would still say that I was unprepared, because it didn't hit me yet. It didn't happen to me yet. And when it did, I'm like, what? And sometimes it even takes you a while to figure out what is going on with you. Then you think it's a one-off, but it keeps happening and happening. And you're like, I was not prepared for this. That is something that no one has experienced. Even my sister was like, girl, I don't have it like that, and I don't even want it. You just have to educate yourself, try to get in some type of community, and get through it. Why your experience might differ from others, and it's okay. It really is okay that you are a unique. Like, every time I tell somebody about the every 15 minutes, I hate to keep being on these hot flashes, but it really does seem like I'm the only one that experienced it. I have not talked to anybody else that says, oh yeah, I got that too. Like, no, it's just me. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. It's just like, whatever. But don't beat yourself up because other people are not experiencing. This is my burden, right? The hot flash. I'd rather have that than to have somebody else had, right? So it is like, it all balances out in the grand scheme of things, right? I don't want to be, just like somebody else anyway. It is what it is. People think that something is wrong with them, that it's, other people are not experiencing. I don't feel that way. It's normal. That's all we need to understand, is that what we are going through, whether it's unique or not, it is normal for our bodies to be responding this way. The importance of being your own advocate at the doctor's. Now is not the time to be skipping your appointments. Let me repeat that. Now is not the time to be skipping your appointments. Like, I know a lot of women take, medicine or medication for it. It's fine. Whatever floats your boat. Me, it has even the hot flashes that are crazy. I still don't want to go on medication. I'm just anti-medication anyway. I've been that way all my life. But whatever floats your boat, do it, right? Whatever you can do to manage your symptoms, I'm all for doing whatever works for you. But yes, you definitely need to be talking to your doctor to figure out, like I said, things that could help your symptoms. And the advocate part, your body is not feeling right. You need to advocate for it. That's in any phase of your life. But definitely in this phase of our life, if you know something ain't right, advocate for yourself. Keep talking to people. If you have to get a second or third opinion, keep doing so, right? Until you get the answer that satisfies you and you get the relief that you need. A lot of times we just take the first thing that someone tells us and we're on our merry way, and we know our bodies ain't right. We know it. We definitely need to take that second and third step to ensure that we are, okay, right? What we have to remember is that knowledge is power, however you get it, right? If you get it from a community, if you get it from your doctor, if you get it from siblings, if you get it from your mom, knowledge is power. And we have to remember that we are not broken. We are just transitioning to a new chapter of our life. The more you understand about your bodies, is the less fear that can take over and cripple you, right? So that's why all the things are important, that, you seek knowledge, because that fear is something, right? It will cripple you and stop you and, make you afraid and make that anxiety come to light. And we don't need that. Again, knowledge is power. Well, that's all I have. As I always leave you, we have to get out and live our lives to the fullest, because why? We only have 20 to 30 good summers left, and we are what? Not going to waste them. Until next time. Bye-bye.